Alright, y'all ever walk down the streets, had on some smell good, and then you walk by somebody and then they smell just like you? You ever felt offended by that? You be like, you son of a bitch. Like, that stuff right there just knocks you off your square because you already know, like, dang, if I'm about to get a compliment, this mother's about to get a compliment too. Nah, it's not a problem that other people are going to get compliments. That's not the issue. The issue is that you smell like somebody else. You always want to be your own self. You want to smell like something that nobody else smells like. But if you get these fragrances that I'm about to put in this list, then you definitely gonna smell like everybody else. So this is gonna be my top 3 fragrances that everybody else has, and you will be better served not to just put them in your collection. You can do what you want with your own money, but at the end of the day, if you smell like everybody else, it's your fault. All right. So sit back, relax. Let's talk about it. So, welcome back, people. Because, yeah, I know y'all gonna end up getting on my head about this, and I wanted to talk about this fragrance specifically. This one is very, 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 very popular, and is very affordable. And what is that? Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. This mug is good. This mug is definitely good. It's good, smells good. It's great for a lot of different occasions. And I would say that if you're in your early 20s, this is definitely something that you would end up rocking. Mid 20s, early 20s, even your late 20s, early 30s, stuff like that. This is definitely a great fragrance that you should have in your collection. Yeah, this, because you initially get that lavender note. It's that lavender. Like lavender, you know, lavender, patchouli, stuff like that. Lavender is one of my favorite notes as well, if I never said that, but lavender, patchouli, stuff like that, amber, I love those notes. But this one has a hint of mint, cardamom, and some bergamot, some other notes in here, like, you know, got a little cinnamon, vanilla, stuff like that. So it definitely gives you a good balance, you know, some sandalwood. So there's not this overzealousness and just the earthiness or anything like that. It's actually a very smooth, fresh, but yet still vanillic type of fragrance. And this actually, I would say, was because this was made by Francis Kirkjohn. If you ever had or seen, I'm pretty sure that y'all have heard of it, MFK, the Baccarat Rouge 40. So Francis Kirkjohn, that was the one. Like, you got Maison Francis Kirkjohn, Maison Francis, they came together and ended up doing that. So this was created by Francis Kirkjohn in 1995, and this has been a big staple in the community and the fragrance community for a long time. And with that, it also comes with a lot of redundancy, because a lot of people ended up just, you know, consuming this, and it's been popular for so long. You're talking about almost 30 years of popularity. So because of that, you have this consistent note. I mean, this consistent just smell that you're already used to. So if you smell somebody else having this on and you already got it on, it's gonna be easy to pick up because you're so used to it. It's been around for 30 years. A lot of people have got it, and it's very, very popular. And then it's not expensive. You can go to Nordstrom Rack right now and get this for, I would say, like 35 bucks. So if you can get this for 35 bucks or $29.99, or you can go on a discount store online, like let's say fragrancenet.com or fragrancebuy.ca or fragranceca.com or something like that. There's a bunch of different ones, Joma Shop, that you can end up going to, and you can get this fragrance for a lot cheaper than what you would end up getting, like, you know, if you went into Macy's and had to pay that full price. But nevertheless, this is definitely something that you will see a lot of different men wearing, and if you don't want to smell like everybody else, you may not want to get this one. So it's a great fragrance. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get it. I'm just saying that if you did get it, just know that you don't smell like everybody else. So this is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. All right, so This next one is a great one, to be honest. This has been around for a good amount of time. But I would say that once this really started to take off, people really got on this. Like, when I mean they got on it, they got on it. And the reason I say that is because I remember when it first came out. When this first came out, I was still in college. So during that point in time, it was like, this was the height of, if you ever been in college, you know that there's usually that time when you start to get into like more fashion, more business etiquette, more business suits and things like that, more business attire. So you start to look at different things, and this fragrance was one of those fragrances that you remember getting during that point in time, and it was just instrumental to your upbringing as a young man. So this fragrance right here is Gucci Guilty Pour Homme. And this mug is fire. Now, what comes in this one? Grab one of my test strips real quick. Now, this came out around 2011. So, like, remember I said earlier, I went to college in 08. So it was during that point in time. And I remember when this first came out because it was extremely popular as soon as it came out. Like, I mean, when we would smell this, or some people would end up smelling this, it was that good where people were like, yo, matter of fact, it was this one and that Gucci Pour Homme 2, the one with the gold top and the blue juice. Oh my God, that one, it was those two that really made the biggest difference, because I remember getting that Gucci Pour Homme 2, and I used to get so many compliments off of that one. Same thing with this one. When I initially got this one, I got so many compliments. You smell that lavender. Got that melon. Some African flowers. Patchouli in there. You already know how I feel about my patchouli. And some vanilla, and I think some cedar in here as well. Great fragrance, great smelling fragrance. But because it was so popular, you might end up getting a lot of people that smells like this, because it also became a little bit more affordable to get this as well. So with that being said, if you did end up getting this around this level of popularity, I mean, hey, you're gonna definitely end up smelling like the next man. And your main goal is not to smell like the next man, because you're not trying to be like everybody else. You want to be like yourself. Yourself is where you go end up winning your biggest battles, because I mean, at the end of the day, why you want to be like everybody else, right? God didn't make you like that. If he wanted to make you like somebody else, he'd have made you like that. So you want to smell the part. And this fragrance right here, because it definitely smells similar to other fragrances, and as well, it was an extremely popular fragrance, you know, you might not be best suited. But here's the good thing. Because that's it, and because it says 10 years later, it may not have the same level of popularity. So if it doesn't have that same level of popularity, then you might end up actually want to add this to your collection, because then you could actually smell like somebody else. You know, I mean, smell like nobody else, not somebody else, nobody else. And that's your goal. You want to smell like nobody else. You want to make sure that you smell the part. Smell the part, that way you could end up making that big first impression. Remember, a lot of times most people end up judging you first by how they see you and how they smell you. If they see you first and they see you well put together, and then they smell you and smell that you smell even better than what you look like, I'm telling you right now, you already doing, you two strikes in. All you need is one more strike, and you're out. You know what I'm saying? You won. You know what I'm saying? You did your job. So that's the thing right there, man. You already got it. You did your thing. You're knocking it out. The main stuff is, at this point, is that you want to end up continuously expanding a collection to have something else that nobody else has. That's your goal. And this, depending on the level of popularity around in your area, this might not be the best option, but depending, if it's not as popular in your area, then you would do yourself a good service getting this added. Well, at the end of the day, you're gonna smell like somebody if you're gonna smell like somebody else, at least smell really, 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 really good. At least let it be really, really good. And this next fragrance, I'm just saying, I'm gonna just be honest with you, it accentuates all of that. It's one of the most popular fragrances that has come out in the last like 8 years. This, if I'm not mistaken, this fragrance has won awards. If I'm not mistaken, this fragrance has been voted as the most popular fragrance year after year, a couple of different times. And what is that fragrance? Dior Sauvage. I mean, hey, I don't know what to tell you. It's an amazing, fresh, spicy. I mean, you got the bergamot, you got your pepper. I mean, you got your lavender. I don't know how I feel about patchouli. I don't know why y'all be sitting up here testing me about that. But at the end of the day, you know what? I'm gonna keep it in my hand. This just smells amazing. It really smells amazing. And you can't be mad at anybody that's rocking this. Now, if you smell somebody and they got this on, you can't be mad at that. Why? Because this mug smells good. It smells that good to the point where most women bought it for their men for, you know, their birthday or for Father's Day or for Valentine's Day. Usually this is a good present to give to your man, especially if it was over the last like 5 years or so. Now I would say that it's gotten a little too popular, and when it got a little too popular is when, if you go into a lounge or if you go into an event and there's over 200 people there and 20 of those people have on the same fragrance, that's 10%. If 10% of the people that's there have the same fragrance as you, you might want to go and put on a different fragrance. But it's not that you don't want to have something that smells good. You just don't want to have something that smells like everybody else, because there's a certain uniqueness that comes with it, and you are a unique person. This fragrance is unique. It's just that the price and availability of it is not. So because it's readily available to everybody and it's a great fragrance, it's easy to cop. And because it's easy to cop, a lot of people will, and you know, you can go for it and go crazy. So because of that, you know, you still get your compliments. You'll still get your, you know, your head turners. You know, you'll still get all of the extras. You know, you're not going to do yourself a disservice by adding this to your fragrance collection. The only thing is that you're just not going to, you know, have that uniqueness like if you add on something different. There's always a good thing to having a unique fragrance, no matter the cost. You can get something that's cheap, and as long as it's unique and it smells good, you'll still end up winning. People remember that all the time. All the time. They may not even remember your name, but they will remember that you smell good. So that's why I will say that even though that this mug is a crispy fragrance, it's an amazing fragrance, it smells wonderful, you still want to end up trying to get something that's a little bit different and not as uniform. It's not like a uniform type of scent. You know what I'm saying? So, which means that it applies to all or everybody already has it. So this fragrance, while it is a great fragrance, smells good, I would say unless you want to smell like everybody else, you may not want to add this in your collection. But if you do want to smell like, you know, something that just smells good regardless of whatever time and period of the day it is, this will do you good. So either way, it's at your discretion. There's a rose and a thorn with everything. But you know what isn't a rose and a thorn with? Hitting that like, subscribe, and that share button to make sure that we extend this content, because I appreciate you for definitely tapping in and tuning in and just being a part of this fragrance journey that we are all embarking on. And the fact of the matter is that you are here, and I appreciate that. So hit that like button, subscribe, share. Make sure that you subscribe to my other channels, Big Shot Ammo, and also let your family, let your friends, let anybody that you know that loves fragrances, make sure that they get a hold of this content. All right, but I appreciate y'all. Much peace.